Let's say you owe me $14,000. Okay. And if we're suing over $14,000, we're going into arbitration. It's more of a intensive process than small claims courts. If you're going to rank the courts in easiest and cheapest, it goes small claims because you're just filling out one piece of paper and filing it.
Got it.
To arbitration because you're filing a complaint still. You might do some limited discovery, and then you're going to get a hearing date within a year. And to the most expensive being the Court of Common Pleas, because that's, full-on lawyers. You're doing the whole process. And so if you have, let's say, a claim for $14,000, it might be wise to say, I'm only going to sue for $12,000. I'm going to agree to limit my damages to $12,000 because then I can go to a small claims court, fill out a one sheet of paper document, say, this is what my gripe is, file it, spend the, few $100s that it costs to file it. And then you get a hearing date in a few months. And then you show up, you argue your position. You don't need a lawyer and you could be done.
So even if you're above that threshold, but close, that may be a better calculation of how to go after your money.
And that's a conversation I'm having a lot of times because as a lawyer, I don't want to take your money if you're suing for $12,000, $15,000 because you might have to pay me $5,000 to $10,000. Sure. So what's the point of paying me $10,000 to go maybe win 12?
Right. It doesn't make sense.
And you're going to hate me.
Yeah. Right. And that's, you've said that a couple of times. So I think that, is there a way to set the expectation for folks that maybe either are about to approach a situation or came out of a situation? They're like, man, this attorney was the worst. And sort of set the ground rules of, hey, these are things that you could be upset about, right? Like, but these are the areas where if your attorney's advising you in a certain direction, then you're going against it. It's really unreasonable to turn around later and go, I can't believe you charged me so much for the advice that you told me not to take.
Unfortunately, we see that so much. So now I just try to just say no to those people, right? Because I just say, okay, I could tell now you're not going to listen to me or you're going to hate me later. So I'm just not going to do it. And a good way to, the ground rule for this or a good way to think about it is this. You go to a law firm, sometimes people, somebody ripped you off for 20 grand. Let's just say 20 grand's like kind of like right there in you don't want to go to the small claims court because then you're foregoing half of it, right? And it's still, it's still not such a big number that you're like, I'm suing no matter what. And, I don't care how much it's cost.
Sure.
And so somebody screwed you for 20 grand and you show up and you're going, I'm going to get the most expensive lawyer to, really step on your neck and that,
right.
You should think about that because if you're suing for 20 grand, what is a reasonable amount of money to spend to collect it? Is it 25%? Is it 50%? Is it 30%? And so if you're going to spend more than $5,000 to $7,000 trying to collect $20,000, you're going to be unhappy if you win.
Right.
If you lose, you're going to be really unhappy, right? And lawsuits aren't guaranteed. The judges might not agree with you or the jury might not believe you or whatever it may be. Or the other side, we could have a whole separate conversation about what happens when people just appeal for no reason.
Right.
And that's just an added expense. I appeal. I disagree. I appeal. Right.
And now it just keeps going and going.
Well,
and
now
going.
You're along for the ride. Now it's like the, what's that movie where he's like, now you can't leave.
Right. Oh, that's one of my favorites, actually.
Bronx Tale.
Yeah, Bronx Tale. I use that all the time.
Now you can't leave.
Yeah.
Right.
First I asked you to leave. Now you can't leave.
And that's what happens because when, you go to a small claims court and you win, somebody might just say, you know what, I want to be done with this. I'll pay you. Or they might want to be difficult and they say, I'm appealing. Now you got to take it to the next level.